You can tell by the way when I move that I'm a. How does that go? I screwed it all up. Oh well. It's always a good intro when I screw it all up. Right? Right. I got one of those buttons to push over here and it's going to be fine. It's the intro. Not that one. Not that one. That one. What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lied. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Yeah. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, thinking and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is a trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxler of YouTubes.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, for Sasquatch Shills so you don't have to listen. Everybody's had to deal with an agency at some point in time or another, from the DMV to the local hospital. Every single one of them seem to have only one function in life, and that seems to be fuckery. I don't know why it is, but every single agency on earth seems to exist for the sole purpose of bloating its own budget and exploiting anything they can get their hands on. I have a guest backstage. His name is a Veterans Affairs, and we're going to discuss this whole concept here because it's basically a shit biscuit and you get fed it.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I should have warned you. I have a turn of phrase. My bad. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you.
Absolute fuckery. That's right. All right, we have a ton of people in chat, and for those of you who are expecting Heather Holt, she'll be on the After Dark as soon as we wrap up with all of this, which will be in approximately 52 minutes or so. But until then, I want to bring you up on big screen right quick, and you can tell everybody what's going on, bro. This is a Veterans Affairs.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Sasquatch, for having me on your show tonight. So since I've been in the VA system, I've been getting stopped from my health care. There's a lot of things that have happened. I've been through 5 different VAs in the matter of 3 years because of the crazy things that happen there: harassment, malpractice, false policies, people filing false police reports as well. And now it's coming out, and instead of trying to help me, they're trying to silence me.
That is a common tactic. I can tell you what to expect in the future, my friend. And this is coming from someone who's interviewed several people in similar type situations. From a broken? Oh, I can't remember his name. He's going to be so mad. I can't shout him out if I can't. A broken trust, broken justice, broken trust. I can't remember the name of the channel. It's killing me. Anyway, broken system, broken trust. That's the name of it. He's dealing with CPS. We've got ATL over here dealing with Cobb County. Everything. My man's been to the GBI. He's been to the FBI. He's been to every lettered agency in Cobb County has had a visit from that man. He's like the freaking poltergeist. We got a whole pile of people in chat. You want to say hey to them, or do you want to jump right into what we're doing here?
I'm not on my phone or anything, but I can see a couple of I don't.
All right, let me make a
way I can open up this chat.
Yeah, let me make it run. Oh my God, so many people. We got 34 people in here. Cold Creek Croft gets the gold. Loose Cunt, you got me to say it, gets the silver. And John Denicola gets the bronze. Welcome in. We're still looking for our participation trophy for the night, and that would be the best silly name that I see. We got SOS in here. We got Keeper of the List. It's always good when she shows up. We've got Keeping the Swine in Line. Heather Holtz decided to join our own chat. That's neat. It's like some kind of streamception going on. We have Anon Mouse and JC News Now. Welcome in. Joe Coke, what's that? KS Cop Watch. Good to see you, bud. It's always good when you come by. Gravy has showed up. You know, I like gravy. I do. Some nice mustard biscuits.
Thank you for coming. You're hilarious.
Well, Dennis Bowles is in my chat. We have M's Mad World. That's a previous guest. Bosco and George has showed up. Hello. How are you doing tonight? It's good to meet you. I don't believe I've seen you before, but we will definitely become better friends. Yeah, I'm going to grow on you like a fungus, bud. I hope you're prepared for this. Robert Wolf II. Good to see you, bud. Trying to catch everybody. And they're talking faster than I can scroll down. Which Firm Audits, welcome in, bud. Good to see you.
Hey,
be cooler if you was in my chat, though. New York Outcast knows what's good. He's over here with me. That's right. Gregory, welcome in, bud.
Turn him in.
We're getting there. We're on. Jack off Jack Omega. Okay. Hit the like, folks. That's what you should do. We got Tiffany's Epiphany in here. Good to see you, girl. Did I miss anybody? 420 somewhere. Damn right it is. XGOXX. I bet that everybody thinks that's a bad naughty channel. All cops are terrorists. Okay, we have our participation trophy of the night. Congratulations, bud. Welcome in. It's good to see you all. All right, I think that catches Judy Who. That's right. That does it. That's the one. She's the one. All right. So take us back. Before you started your channel. Now I specialize in YouTubery, right? And you've got a handful of videos that are available for anybody to go check out. And I'm just going to let a couple play in the background while we discuss this whole situation.
All right.
Before you started your channel, you were already having some issues, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you start your channel expressly because of the problems you were having with the VA, or did you have a channel functional before that?
So that's a good question. I didn't have a channel. I made a YouTube to release the videos that I do have now, like the actual footage ones, because I didn't know how to make all the words and the pictures and stuff previously. So when I released those, I took them down originally because I thought that the chief of staff was going to do the right thing and help me out. But instead, they threw me even further down the shaft. So that's why I'm putting it back out there. Not from the beginning, but to where we are now. The reason why they're up is the whole reason why this whole man. It's sorry, it's confusing.
Yes, sir. Take your time. No rush.
Yeah, they
We
silenced
can do
me.
3 shows if you want to. Okay, just take your time.
Roger. Yeah, so I was already having issues at the VA. I made some reports, and those reports got back to the actual people that I was reporting. That in turn created retaliation. I reported the retaliation. That created even more. They sent. I was sent away from that VA to a different VA, so that they could get rid of me and not get rid of the problem. By going to a different VA, the problems only followed me. They never changed. So I was already having behavioral flags put on me because I had started speaking out. And the behavioral flags are how they get to control you. If they can throw a flag on you for your behavior, they can get the cops to sit on top of you so you can't do anything. So that's how they started to try to silence me, because it's hard to explain without like you guys being able to see all the videos or see what I saw.
I understand. Let me help you out with that. Most of the people in these 2 chats that we've got running right now have seen a very similar pass the buckism take place in a different department, a different government position that had power, that decided to flag somebody and make it more difficult for them to function in their life. That's where you're at.
By them flagging me, they stopped my care. And I was trying to tell you before we started that the VA, when I first started, was great. It was awesome. I was seeing sunshine and rainbows for days. And then I got assaulted. And when I say I got assaulted, I was getting an operation done on my back. I was in a wheelchair, and I was doing ablations, which is where they burn off the nerve endings inside your spine.
Right.
Try to break up the pain value.
Yes, sir. I had a broken back many moons ago, and luckily was narrowly able to avoid that surgery.
Man, I'm glad you did, though, because it's interesting. What I'm about to tell you is that the VA has a policy to where they don't have to sedate you when they shove shit in your body. So,
son, ow.
Yeah, so that's what I started to speak out about, was the barbarism. And I had to do it 3 separate occasions, 2 doctors. Okay, so one of the doctors did it to me twice. The third doctor, and I don't care whoever hears this, I cried. Okay, when you have to feel an 8-inch pipe, multiple of these being shoved into your back, you're gonna cry, man. And especially when they don't sedate you, you're gonna feel it. And I started crying, and I begged them to stop. And instead of stopping, they turned the volume up on the radio to drown my cry.
Oh, you know, it's funny. They make psychologists get psychoanalyzed before they can practice. Maybe they should make a surgeon get cut on or shot.
I mean, they do it for tasers, right? If you're going to tase somebody, you might as well feel what it feels like.
Oh, yeah, I got tased long before I had a chance to tase somebody.
But that's what I reported. And by me reporting that made me a target, all right? Because they don't like it when you start talking or when you start advocating. That's the key word. When you start advocating for yourself, you become a deadly weapon.
To a organization, yes.
And it turned into a major freak out. I mean, those of you that have seen the videos, it's horrible, you know. And this was even before I had a camera in my hands. That I spoke out, and instead of helping me, they sent me away. One particular time, I don't mind talking about this. I was at a place called Menlo Park. It's where they also experimented with. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Men Who Stare at Goats. but the Blue
Yeah,
Haven
yeah.
was the building. That's where I was at. And they called it a PTSD program, but they have a bunch of veterans locked into these buildings, and they didn't let us out.
Oh, that's terrible.
We were there to get help, and instead of helping us, they locked us away. And when I started speaking out about the way that they were treating everybody there, they put me into an even smaller room. This time it didn't have a window, so it was a closet, basically. They stuck me in a closet, and they locked me in there for a week.
Oh, that's fucked up. I'll be honest with you there. There's a couple of times I probably should have been locked up for a week.
Yeah, that was just for talking. I reported somebody, and then they packed up my room and put it into a different room and said, "You're going to stay here for the remainder of your time."
Oh, that's fucked up.
So I had to leave, but I promised those guys that I would tell their story when I got out.
That's cool.
Sorry, man. That's stressing me out thinking about it, but
I'm sorry. We can go in a different direction if you'd like.
No, it needs to be heard. Menlo Park, and I've never been to prison, so I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, but to me personally, I feel like we were imprisoned. We were put away because they didn't want to see us anymore.
Exactly. Because if they see you, they have to deal with you.
Yes, sir.
So the whole idea here in general is to utilize your First Amendment to put pressure on the system to change it for the benefit of not just yourself, but everyone else. And that's why I chose this channel, folks. This is why he's here tonight, because that is a noble goal.
Well, I mean, this guy that you guys see in the background, this guy's name is Mike Alvarado. He's a patient advocate. Now, when you hear the word patient advocate, or when I hear it, I think it's somebody that's supposed to help me, the patient. This guy's aim is to get me out of the building as fast as possible. And the guy threatens me. He's about to jump up on top of his desk to intimidate me.
I've watched this. It's absurd. This man spends 20 minutes basically telling you that he doesn't have to give you evidence that you were actually there, that he actually received the paper. A 2-second signature, a simple write the date and sign it and hand it to you, and everything's done. You're gone. You walk out the door with what you came in to do. Everybody's happy. He never thinks about you again. But because he didn't want to tie himself to ignoring your request, because you were submitting a legal document, he has to acknowledge receipt of it, or it's not official. So,
and then his superior told him not to sign it.
Oh, I hate these people individually.
Like, he calls the guy on the phone while they have me kicked out, or not kicked out, they have me locked out of the room, which is not a patient care area.
By the way, balls up on you, dude, for putting your foot in that door and not letting him shut it. That took some fucking D, dude. That's some big dick energy there, man. Sasquatch approves. That was a good move. Because technically speaking, any decision that's made on behalf of the paperwork that you handed to him is part of your public request of information and part of your effort to get that information. And all you need is verification that it's been requested. That's it, right?
That was simple. And that's something I was talking about today, is that the simplest things, signing your name, acknowledging your presence, opening a door for somebody who's disabled, they can't do that. It's like it's genetically impossible for a VA employee to help.
It does seem that way. There's a whole lot, and I've noticed this in a lot of governmental positions. There's a whole lot of not my jobism. The automatic reaction of any one of these functionaries is to pass the buck to a different department and make it somebody else's problem.
Right. Like when you saw in the video, when I go upstairs and I'm like, hey, where's that information that you supposedly had? Oh, I was asking him for it, so he should have it. And that's, like you said, it's classic pass the buck. Just accept the fact that you fucked that guy. Sorry.
Or just accept the fact that I asked and acknowledge it. You're not actually asking anyone to take responsibility for any particular action other than that this has actually happened. I was actually here. You were actually here. And we actually discussed this piece of paper. You sign it. I'll walk away and we have no issues.
Right. But they want to make issues because I don't know if you saw the Lady in Blue situation, but they purposely try to agitate me and make me mad, so it gives them a reason to throw the cuffs on me.
Yeah. And if you got a little hairy there, you did, but you handled it well. You regrouped, you reloaded, you sat down, you got a breath, and then the cop showed up. I think he was a cop, showed up. I don't think he's ever actually on camera, but for a split second. And y'all had a little talk, and he was like, all right, dude, we'll see if we can figure it out. And homie never did sign the paper, did he?
No, not that day. But I had to come back and did another day.
Right.
Because
and
the
that's
video
the part
after
that
this
pisses me off.
I don't want to go back to that building. I'm okay. Long story short, from the beginning to where we are now, I am legitimately in fear because these fuckers follow me around armed, all right? And they make me lift my damn shirt up when I come there. I'm not the threat.
Exactly. How does one you're good. No, you're good. You're good. I have a lot of veterans in my family. I have a lot of friends who are veterans. Some things stress people out in different ways. You can never predict how that's going to happen, but I imagine having armed men around you is probably not a real good trigger point, is it?
No, I mean, it needs to be shared, but at the same time, it's very upsetting because there's a lot of things that I wanted to say at those situations, and I had to eat my words a lot of the time, but it's better that I did instead of really lashing out at them. I could have been taken away, but I apologize. I'm not trying to ruin your show, cussing all this.
You go ahead, dude. Let me cover this real quick. Shit, fuck, damn, cunt, piss, chat. Have I missed one? Let me know. We'll get it covered too. Just go ahead. You tell your story how you see fit. You made a YouTube channel. This is the reason you made the YouTube channel, was for people to see it. We have 36 people in here live right now, and every single one of them is not only interested in your right to film what's going on with you, but your right to have the proper medical care given to you the way it was supposed to be, the way things should be. And there might be a couple of assholes in the batch that want to be a troll and come fuck with you. It's possible. But we got a pretty good crop over here, and I trust Heather Holt a lot. As far as who's in her chat, dollar bills, son. So just in the most comfortable way possible. Don't stress yourself out. Just tell them why you made your YouTube channel and what you hope to do with it.
I made the YouTube channel in hopes of getting help. I mean, I am getting help now since I made the channel, and that's a positive. But my main goal with doing all of this is to show other veterans that you are allowed to do this, and that what's happening to me could be happening to you, and it needs to stop. And we need to work together like a team, like we were trained to do, and stop this enemy.
Another point I want to make is, if it can happen to him, it might be happening to your son or your brother or your daughter, and they're not quite as touched in the head as the people seem to want you to think, that they're just actually having issues with the system itself. The individuals that make up the system can cause immense problems just because they have personal biases.
100%. That statement alone, the bias is what stops the care.
Right.
Because they know that
go ahead.
They know that if they speak out on our behalf, their job is in the wind. You know? So they don't want to lose that paycheck. So they're going to 100% back up the VA. Like, if you have the slightest inkling of, oh, you might be a threat to staff, you went from being a nobody to being the top of the list, and now you're on a watch list. And everybody knows your name because your picture is floating around the whole damn facility.
Well, let's be honest. If you're a modern American and you're not on a watch list, you're not living your life right.
Right. And that's the same thing. Like Congress is basically refusing to speak to me because I'm on a list with them.
Well, it's not hard to get on those lists either.
I found that out.
Yeah, yes, sir. I give you even money based off of either my record, my employment history, my library selection, or my YouTube channel. I'm on a list or several. I'm hoping my FBI guy is real entertained.
You know how you were talking about folks going to every letter agency out there? Excuse me. I've gone all the way to the top. I've gone to the FBI. I've gone to my state controller. I've gone to Congress. I've gone to the governor. I've been to different Congress members in my state. And everybody's just, hey, man, let's get rid of this guy. He knows too much.
And that does seem to become a problem. Now for the prediction. I told you I was going to give you a prediction.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if it hasn't already started, here's the way this is going to go. They're going to lose all of your freaking information a few times in each department you go to talk to. There'll be no record of you having been there. And then when you get upset about that, they'll attempt to trespass you from the location and then try to put a criminal trespass order on you. And if that doesn't work, they'll probably utilize some form of public disorderly on your next visit, regardless of whether you get disorderly or not. And all of this is designed to impoverish you to the point where you cannot actually make a decent legal battle back. It's called lawfare, and it is utilized by every arm of the federal and local and state governments.
Lawfare. That's a good term.
So it would be really handy if you could try to find. I'm assuming you've been advocating for yourself.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll be able to find somebody that can put you in touch with a lawyer that might be willing to take the case pro bono. I can't promise you that. I can just promise you that there's a lot of really good people around, and hopefully one of those people will notice your case. They'll take a look at it and do what needs to be done. That's the desire. That's the hope.
Yeah, I hope so too, because federally, no one's going to do anything to anybody. And I know I'm probably giving you guys this information ahead of time, but the next video, you're going to see how I became a killer from a false narrative.
Is this Officer Torres attempts to violate a veteran?
That was the last appointment that I ever had, but that's the lady in blue.
Is that the very first video you did?
Yes, that's the first live, or not live, but the first footage that I put out was that he.
Right. I got a thing I do.
Yeah.
This is what makes it a show. It's the only part of the show that is actually a show. The rest of it is just us talking. So I got to do it, or it's not a show, because I'm a YouTube paleontologist. Function.
You don't want cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist. Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag too. I am a paleontologist. I'm a paleontologist. Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
All right. Yeah, it tickles me every time I see it. Okay, so this is your first upload. If
Yes.
you decided to upload this, there's very little bit of editing. Most of it is basically screenshots, copies, and slideshow type effects, right?
Yes.
Very phone-based, rudimentary. You've come a long way, brother. Y'all check this out. It took me 6 months to figure out how to do this on the phone. And the reason is I used my computer for the most part because I was trying to do recordings, but I had a bad microphone and I couldn't do a decent recording but I could do a live stream and that would work. So I ended up live streaming, and here we are. So do you want to hear this one and just play it through, or it's only about 3 minutes?
Yeah, we can turn it up. Let
Or
everybody
you
see.
can just explain what's going on.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
So previous to this incident, I would say less than 5 minutes. Okay, that guy, that fat Porky Pig right there, was waving at me when he saw me come in through the entrance. And when he was waving at me, he started running over to his car and gunned it. He was coming after me. There was nobody else in the damn driveway, and I floored it. And I went to this parking structure and parked as fast as I could so that they couldn't get a traffic violation on me, right? As he was following me, this guy happened to save my life by coming in through the exit. So I heard what was going on. This guy was telling him to stop and stop. The guy was confused. Like, I don't even know how he made it there. He was so confused. But instead of harassing me, he took his anger out on this other veteran. So as you can see, there's no way that this confused veteran requires 2 additional officers on scene. And they're there for me. They have the lights on because there's an emergency. And
Right.
they were already coming over because they were coming there for me. That's why I say, are they really there for a confused veteran, or are they there for me? But I was filming because I didn't agree with the fact that they were going after him instead of coming after me. Oh, sorry, Officer Porky Pig.
That's Officer Porky Pig to you, not just that's all, folks. Thank you. I don't know, dude. Cops will utilize any excuse to justify their positioning. No matter what you do, they will come up with some legitimate reason why they should have been there at that point in time. They are professionals at that. It's the only way they can cover their ass. What blows my mind is how little of that stuff is actually documented.
Yeah, they didn't write this report, and I have a follow-up phone call with the officer that's on scene. You can't see what I'm pointing at, but at Officer Torres didn't write the report, but also tries to cop-splain to me that the guy was violating the law. If he violated the law, then he broke the law, so you need to write a report. I mean, I'm not a cop, I'm not an expert, but it's common sense, I would think.
Yeah. I also keep in mind there is a dispatch call that is recorded. There is a phone call that probably took place at some point in time that would also be documented. And then there would be the rerouting through dispatch of those units to that location and the reason for which they were routed. All of that information should be available with a basic FOIA request.
Man, that's another story for another 5 hours.
Hey, like I said, if you want to make this a series, bro, I'm so down with that shit.
Yeah, the FOIA to the VA is a joke. That's all I got to say. There is no freedom to the information at all. I have gotten a $265 invoice for my own fucking records.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is a common occurrence. That's another part of that lawfare we was talking about. It is specifically designed to impoverish you to the point that you are incapable of mounting a satisfactory legal defense.
That's and they want to say that, it's not part of your health record. Well, according to VA policy, whatever happens on VA facility grounds is medically, however they charge it, but it's all medical. It's part of my record. Yes,
sir. That's the way it read to me when I looked through it. And when we went after Pop's records, there was a little bit of stink that happened. He went up there twice and they told him he couldn't have them. And then me, my sister, and my brother went up there with him all together and pitched an absolute stinking fit. And there were too many of us to really just put us all in the paddy wagon. You lock up a whole family, you're probably going to have to answer for some shit like that. And my sister is a grade A #1 Karen. She is the best. What's up, Havoc? Welcome in. So do you have any Karens in your life that you could possibly exploit? I mean, call.
Not me, man. I really, honestly, I don't really have much support other than the YouTube community and everybody else that reaches out through these channels and platforms. And the only other person who's really in my corner, as far as physically, is my family, my immediate family. Like I was telling you before, my mom thinks I'm losing my mind and making this shit up.
You can't make people watch. I can lead a sub to a channel, but I can't make them watch. They may or may not enjoy your content. They may or may not take interest in what you're doing. They may or may not care. I can't.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't think that anybody was going to watch it at first either. I didn't think.
I didn't either.
I was aiming for the world. I was just aiming for the veteran community and aiming directly at the VA so that they would see what they're doing.
But you've stepped into the realm of First Amendment. And there is a huge First Amendment following on YouTube, because YouTube is so strenuous on their censorship and their methods of dealing with people they don't particularly agree with are so strenuous. We've developed a parallel community of people who utilize YouTube but utilize other communication formats, Discord, Telegram, you name it. To communicate things like this show, where we present things that YouTube might not want to get more exposure. It goes out in ways they don't really expect. And that's what I try to do, is I try to bring a twist to the concept of YouTube. Your share button is one of your best friends. Just because you share something for someone doesn't mean they'll do anything at all for you. They may never even acknowledge it. It's just one of those superpowers YouTube gives everybody. So abuse that shit. And a lot of times people will reciprocate. It's just a numbers game on that end. Oh, we got Smoking Auditor in the chat. He's over here putting in work on my channel. I appreciate it, bud. We're starting to get a little hairy in there. A little hairy scary.
I don't know if you saw this video, but there's when I go around to the other side of the vehicle, he goes and activates the alarm just to be a dick.
Yeah, I noticed that. Oh, and I usually do your most recent video. You did like 3 right before I went live. You had a short.
Oh, okay. So yesterday that pissed me off so bad that I had to get it out, man.
Yeah, I just didn't really have time to update my playlist.
Oh, you're all right, man. Now, basically, I've been calling Congress since April, and I've got 0 response, 0 emails. I went to a town hall meeting in August and met with a representative. The guy signed my paperwork in receipt, and they still won't call me back.
Wow.
So I went to the office, and they're not even there. They're never there. That door is locked all the time. I've been there about 5 times now, but I've gone in the morning. I've gone at lunch. I've gone after lunch. I've gone right before what I would think would be close of business at 4:30. They're never there.
They're doing that teleworking, man. They ain't got to be there. They can sense through the force how you're doing.
Well, it's like, what if you have immigration issues? And that's your district office. Like if when I was there, there's forms on the door, but there's nowhere to turn it in securely. This place is that my Congress office is a joke.
Hey man, I think that's pretty much everywhere. I'm not sure exactly when the federal government checked out on the whole governmenting thing and decided that they were just a money laundering institution. But yeah, they might as well be the mafioso currently.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, that's definitely a money laundering system for sure.
Absolutely.
Somebody's making money. And all that budgeting, the 50 grand or almost $50 billion a year that's being spit at the VA, where's that going to? We don't have new equipment. We don't have new floors. We don't even have a TV in the ER. Not saying that it's required, but we got a broken TV in our
nice, ER. Right? Like At least something we can hook up our Bluetooth to. Come on, folks. Are we not in?
We can watch this. We can watch Sasquatch in the ER.
There you go. My man's got the right idea. Y'all do what he does and check out Sasquatch when you get the chance. Sorry, I also shield for myself. It's sort of a knee-jerk reaction. Like, comment, and subscribe, folks.
Oh,
You know the funniest thing?
Go ahead, man.
Have you come across the situation where somebody asked you what you do and you had to tell them you did YouTube videos?
Not yet.
There was that moment where you drug your toe around and was like, well, you know, I kind of do YouTube videos.
Right? Nobody has a problem with me recording except the employees. I've had other veterans come up to me and say, hey, are you recording because of this, this, and this? I'm like, yeah, actually. And they're like, yeah, I thought about it. I just don't want to do it. It's like,
yeah, that checks out. That totally checks out. I have seen situations with like official misconduct and for public safety or ATL are sitting in a lobby waiting for some public official to come and talk to them for a few minutes and maybe sign a piece of paper saying that they were talked to and that this subject has been brought up and it's all official, like, and somebody else walk in and go, oh, are y'all recording to try to get these people to actually deal with the public? Well, y'all just go right ahead. It don't bother me one bit. You're on what they're doing. Tapatios. What's up, bud? Good to see you. There's so many people in chat to keep up with them. It's absurd.
They try to make the mob mentality.
There is this huge gangland mentality going on with the police, man, and it is absolutely heartbreaking.
In that video, that scene right there, Maurice, that's wearing the Cowboys jersey, he asks this guy, and he and I have never met until that time. He asks the cop to stand by because he thinks I'm a threat. They have no idea why I'm there. They have this narrative that I'm there to kill them.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", 73 inches.
Okay. All right. What's up,
so
Cap?
They try to charge me with disorderly conduct for recording in the lobby.
Good luck.
So they don't charge you at the VA, right? So they put it into your file as behavioral flags.
Oh, Lord. And then you become a targeted individual.
Yeah, and I'm not even, I mean, I can't say it lightly. I know people like to use the term targeted. Every fucking employee there knows me. I am clearly a target.
Yeah. Well, I got a buddy of mine, and I'm not going to mention his name because he's had a very similar problem. He's got a little bit of a temper issue. It's not a physically violent thing. He just raises his voice and tosses his glasses around. I mean, everybody's got their quirks. His just looks like he's fixing to bite your face off, right? So once you get over that, he's a perfectly cool dude. But he'll like snap because the ice cube broke wrong. Like nothing. And he'll just freak out about it for a few minutes and then he'll cool off and he'll be fine. But when he goes to the VA, that gets him locked in the room with the turtle suit. Have you encountered the turtle suit yet?
I haven't had to be balled up like that yet, but I've been to the building where they do that. They've escorted me across the street.
I got locked up a few years ago, and on my way through the little place, I come across a dude that was standing in the corner strapped to one of those little lean-tos with the turtle suit on, and they stopped me right there at the little place to get on the elevator thing, and I turned and looked at him, and he was sitting there with the mouth guard in and the bag over his head, and the full hug you turtle suit on. He had the full works on, and I looked at the guard that was walking me, and I said, "Hey, man, how do I get one of those cool ass suits? Because I'd love to be a turtle." he sat there, he gritted his teeth. He's like, "You don't want to be in the turtle suit." I said, "A pair of nunchucks and some spray paint, you'd never find me. I'd be a ninja." He's like, "Don't talk like that around here, man."
Then you will get the turtle suit.
You know, I know in his head he pictured me stealing that turtle suit and hopping the fence like a ninja running away.
He made it over the fence, dude.
I ain't got nothing to run from, dude. Ever since I managed to kick bugs, I'm good. All right. So let's say, all right, personal advice. This is my personal opinion. I am not throwing shade. I know several people who absolutely love your videos, and most of them are very good. Some of them strike me as extremely busy. Is this a byproduct of spending too much time working on the same video, or maybe not uploading often enough? How do you go about getting your content is what I'm saying.
Uh,
You film, okay, are you cutting edits out of your previous content and
so
uploading
all my
those,
videos are already recorded. We're losing connection here. I didn't hear what you said.
or you film the VA? Do you film cops
No,
like randomly?
they
Okay.
just no.
Okay.
I didn't intend on becoming an auditor. That's what I got termed as.
You're not an auditor. That's not what you do. You are trying to document
No.
your own experiences. Now, that is a style of auditing, and that is one full on First Amendment defense that you can make. And it's a good one to stand on. ATL uses it well.
I started doing the recording because the White House actually told me to do it, because I kept making reports about what was happening and that nobody wanted to take responsibility. The actual agent was like, yeah, you should go ahead and start recording this. Is that even legal? Oh, 100%. You are totally allowed to do that. Just don't be stupid and record people's personal information. So, easy peasy.
Right. And if you happen to, this is another thing that nobody talks about. If you just so happen to record somebody's information, I think that's the wrong video. Yeah, it's the grown man crying all the way to jail. That's the first one for After Dark, which we're coming up on. If you happen to catch somebody's medical information, the legal action really is to blur that out before you upload it. You know, it doesn't matter that you have private information. What matters is what you do with it and your intent with it. If you don't have illegal intent with it, then it doesn't matter that you have it. There is no legal issue there. The legal issue might be them allowing you to get it. What's up, Joe? Cool, baby. I thought he was mad at me and didn't love me no more. I'm going to let him be my big spoon tonight. Have you met Joe Cool?
I've seen Joe Cool's name. I haven't met him. Never.
Well, let me give you be the first then to give you the warning that at some point in time in this YouTube sphere, you will have to sit on a panel with Joe Cool. That man's going to come at you. He's going to come at you hard. He's going to have some difficult questions to parse out, but stay calm, stand your ground, and do the thing that you know is right. And you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. He hates me. I love him, but it's okay. It's a strange relationship. We cuddle. Okay, all right, I'll stop.
This show is you're hilarious, dude.
What's that?
I was just saying you're hilarious, but I'm laughing. I don't really laugh much.
I'm not actually a comedian, but I play one on YouTube, and I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so that might have something to do with it. Yeah. Or I could blame the Waffle House coffee. That's also possible. I'm pretty sure that's where they hide the crack.
Yeah, we need a Waffle House out here. I could use a couple good midnight fights.
Yeah, no. I got a homie up here. Got a job at the Waffle House a couple of weeks ago. I'm sitting in there hammered drunk one night, and he's like, "Hey man, I hear you come in here an awful lot." And I'm almost drooling on the counter. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in here a lot." And he's like, "You got any advice?" I said, "Bulletproof vest. Get yourself a bulletproof vest. It'll be great for the clout. There'll be excellent videos made about it. You'll be famous." Now bring me my damn coffee.
So I got a question for you and your viewers, so that you guys aren't left out of context for my next video. Is everybody aware what airsoft is, or a paintball?
Yes, sir.
Do you think those are real guns? Just
No, by definition, they are not firearms as defined by the Firearm Act. So, no.
Right. And they don't, like a paintball gun has a hopper on top, right? It doesn't
Mhm,
look like a
mhm.
like that. So I play paintball and airsoft. My primary care doctor used my pictures, my personal photos, and this is going to lead into the video that's coming out next week. She used those to create a narrative of me being a killer, and started passing my photos around and made a police report that she felt uncomfortable that I could be allowed into the building when I'm allowed to have guns. That's how the whole police happened. That took my care away because of this psycho bitch. I mean, this doctor.
No, you're fine. Psycho bitch works under certain circumstances, allegedly. An
Cute, but I'm
alleged
not that
psycho
cute.
This is a Veterans Affairs. I don't have any further name on him. We're discussing his problems he's had interacting with the VA, kind of hoping to maybe get his channel a little bit of a punch to try to get out to at least somebody who knows what the hell's going on somewhere near his district. That would be really cool. If not, at least some more support on YouTube, because I dug around looking for a channel like this. And
Hey, John Denicola, you brought up a good point there. All right. Yes, she violated HIPAA, but the union and the VA are protecting her. They will not do anything. They claim it's hearsay.
right. Criminalized for being family had the same problem. By the way, her mother died 3 days ago. They finally laid her to rest just a few days ago, and she is absolutely distraught. I haven't seen her upload nothing since the post that she made right before her mom died. I think she took it down. She's very, very distraught, of course. I mean, makes sense.
Gravy, Mr. Gravy, I went to Congress yesterday, and you heard it for yourself, man. Legislation doesn't do nothing.
Legislation does take time if it goes through and if it's enforced. That's really the catch.
The person I spoke to from Congress's office in DC, they told me that at the legislative level that they couldn't do anything to help me. And they couldn't even contact the office that I was at knocking on the door to open the door.
They got full blocks on you, bud. It's a hard situation you find yourself in, and I'm afraid that only tenacity will see forth. You're gonna have to suffer through the observations of these freaking tyrants, and they're going to dig through every aspect of your life, and they're going to try to criminalize everything they can find to criminalize about you.
Yes,
my only real advice is live a right and virtuous life. That's really your only hope. Don't fuck up.
I'm a little stressed out sometimes, though, because, I mean, it could be paranoia, but the last time I was at the VA where you saw those two police officers treating me like trash, the Torres, he followed me when I was leaving the facility, followed me to my vehicle, and then followed me off the property. But at the same time, I mean, it could be paranoia, but I saw him writing something down, looking out the window. I personally believe he was writing my plates down because he wanted to come hang out with me after hours.
Right. No, that's right. That checks out. That lines up right with the usual standard operating procedure. First, they have to get your plate so they can identify your vehicle, so that they can track your vehicle's movements and know that you are associated with that vehicle, right? Later, or maybe they already have come in and caught you physically in that vehicle to get your ID with you in that vehicle, which is basically just corroborating evidence for a later case. It might take 10 years for them to lay all this out.
Yeah, I'm whatever they want to do, that's fine. As long as I expose what they're doing, I am ready to take the heat.
Like I said, right and virtuous. And that's one of the reasons why I came to talk to you and tried to get you here. And I know I'm kind of a creepy dude, and I come in kind of hot. I know.
Oh, you got a beard, so we're good.
Right? Yeah, that makes me a correct and righteous person. So we check out. Hey, man, you know what you did? You did a show.
Oh, hey. How long
Whole
have we been
thing.
playing?
54
Oh, hey,
minutes. Figure by the time we finish these two sentences, it'll be 57. We'll have it wrapped up by the end.
Well, I hope nobody gets offended by me saying fuck and shit.
Oh, well, fuck them and shit. I didn't mean to offend them, and I'm sorry they got offended. But I am not sorry that I said it, and I'm not sorry that you said it. And for anybody out there in YouTube land that has an issue with that, you can check. Okay, all complaints go to Mandatory Carry. That is MAND something. Yeah, Mandatory Carry. Just go tell him all my complaints. If you got an issue, he's the one that runs the whole thing. I promise. Cross my heart and hope to lie. I die. One of those things. All right, you got anything you want to tell everybody before I sign it out?
You do. I do. If there are any veterans that are watching that haven't or that are experiencing similar situations, there's other people that are out here that are experiencing the same things you are. You are not alone. Reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to share your story. We need to stop this war. That's it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm muted. All right, bud. I was about halfway through a sentence there before I realized my mic was muted. I appreciate you coming in. I'm going to drop you backstage for a minute. You don't have to go anywhere. You can stick around, or if you're busy, you can go. I'm going to drop the link in chat. I'm going to play the outro bit, and then I'll bring everybody up and we can all have us a chat if anybody wants to or not or whatever. I appreciate you coming in, bro. It's good to see you. All right, so that's the end of Sasquatch Shields. That's another channel in the books where we're hopefully going to make some kind of tiny difference in somebody's life somewhere. Maybe him. It would be cool. I think so. I love each and every one of you like a brother and a sister, but you know how it goes. If you give me any trouble tonight, I'll run every goddamn one of y'all off of here. It's supposed to be the Freakazoid outro.
3, 2, 1.
That's all you get. That's good enough for editing.
Oh,
It's a cool tune. Let me do this part. All right. So everybody in
did you write that in the song?
No, hold on one second. Everybody in Heather's chat, if y'all want to continue discussing with this gentleman, y'all need to jump over to my chat because I'm going to end this before I play any other videos so that she doesn't catch any copyrights or anything like that. I'm doing it to protect her channel. She shared the link. Otherwise, it's in Caucasian Sasquatch at YouTube. Come on in, man. I mean, water's fine, I suppose. And I'm going to give that about a minute and a half before I go on with what I got planned. That was excellent, dude. You did real good, even when you got a little flustered. You run it in well.
I appreciate it, man. Like I really need the story to get out. And things need to change because if we don't stop it now, it's just going to keep happening.
I'm not sure there is a way to stop it without abolishing the VA and rebuilding something in its place.
Right. I know
it
that
has
there's
become a monolithic structure of injustice.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's there's not enough of us yet to take it down. But because my uncle, he told me to stop. He said, "Stop what you're doing," because I already tried. Because he came back from Vietnam and didn't get, he's been treated like shit, and he told me to just give up. And I told him I can't do that. Just because you said that, I'm not going to give it up.
I'm the same way, dude. I haven't had a whole lot of verbal support throughout my life. For the most part, people just shrugged at me when I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this." They'd shrug at me and nobody cared, and I'd eventually quit doing it. Whatever it was.
It's not fair to the next guy. That's how I feel, and I'm hoping that you helping me share my story can encourage the next veteran to come forward and help us stop this.
What I'm waiting for patiently is for that one special forces veteran that comes rolling through not getting the proper shit, that uses his skills to take this whole situation completely wide open. That we can hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the best investigative knowledge or anything, but I'm pretty sure that, like you said, some top tier operator that has years of experience in intel can rip these people a new one.
All right, here it is. It's fixing to happen, brother. I hope you put Jim Cole, I'd like you to meet a Veterans Affairs.
Hello.
Let's
Be
get it.
nice.
Veterans
Be nice.
Affairs. Be nice. I'll give it a shot. I missed the video, so I don't know what your gripe is, Veterans Affairs. I missed the vid. Can you tell me, and if it's okay with Sasquatch, can I get a recap? I'm sorry, I got here late. I was on a panel somewhere.
I'm sure you were. Go ahead, brother.
Right. But what's your gripe with them, bro?
Well, currently, I'm just trying to get accountability. Previously, it was denial of care. I was getting denied my actual health care because I started speaking out about malpractice and started making reports. The police started fighting back against me because they wanted to cover it up. And since I'm fighting back, they're silencing me. And they already stopped my care. They stopped my ability to communicate with the doctors because they have a secure message system. I know I didn't go over this, but that's the primary way that we communicate with our doctors, besides the phone call, which that could take weeks to get something back. But the email system, they said that I was abusing it by threatening my doctor. I didn't threaten her. I told her that I was going to expose the VA, and they said that was a threat, and they took everything from me.
Ooh, are you saying the cops in on it too?
Oh yeah, yes, they covered it up. They did very well at it, and I'm pulling it all back out because they didn't know I took pictures. I didn't know I could record.
You took pictures of what?
During the mask mandate, when we had the lockdown, when you had to do 2-week quarantine, I was at a program in Menlo Park that you had to be quarantined for 2 weeks, like 0 human contact. Well, after they'd let me out of this room, I kept they would make me wear a mask, but nobody else had to wear a mask, and this was during the mandate. So I reported the staff not wearing masks because they get to go home. I can't go home, so I can be infected when they come back. I mean, it's a whole big thing, but I reported it, and instead of helping me, they took all my shit, moved it down the hallway into a closet, and left me there and locked me into this room for a week for solitary confinement.
Because you reported them for not wearing masks, they locked you in the closet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I reported that to the patient advocate, and she was in on it.
What did you guys see on video here today?
We watched it. Well, I didn't actually do the volume on any of it. We were discussing the channel.
Okay.
Well, you never know what might be in the audio, and sometimes copyright pops out of audio for no reason at all. So usually when I'm doing a Shields, it's muted.
I hear what you're saying. Would this be one of your vids? Veterans Affairs, would this be one of your vids that we're looking at up here?
Oh no, this one's not. This was set up in case anybody came up on panel. I was gonna play some. This guy gets arrested and cries all the way to jail, like a little baby. And I thought it'd be funny to watch. But we're having a lovely conversation, and we can continue doing so.
All right.
I mean, it's a whole mixture of things. The malpractice situation was instead of sedating me, I had to feel. I had ablations done on my spine. And they burn the nerves out of your back, but they don't sedate at the VA. So I had to feel.
No, stop it, cut it out, stop it. Now I'm gonna come on.
And they told me
I was asked by my friend here to be nice. Wait a minute, you're telling me an ablation, which means they either cut some shit out or burn it out.
They burn it out,
and they opened you and burned some shit out. Maybe I should fucking Google ablation first because I'm picturing some fucked up shit.
It's like they take a basically one of those endoscopic tools with like a tiny little laser or a tiny little thing, and they snake it in through some small hole. But then the spot that they do the ablating on and the time they are doing it, it is heinous.
I had to do that 3 times.
So
that was the only thing that they could give me. That was the only modality.
I get the modality, but they could have fucking numbed you up first, right? It seemed like they're opening themselves up with that shit.
That they told me that by policy, VA policy says that it's doctor's discretion.
Interesting.